As was stated several times during this hearing, oil production is at an all-time high under the Biden administration, higher than even under the Trump administration. Part of that, within the context of that, is the department's decision around the Willow Project.
A new oil drilling project in Alaska has the green light from the Biden administration. Climate activists fought hard to stop this initiative called the Willow Master Development Plan.
Environmentalists are outraged by this, saying that this is a reversal by President Biden in terms of his commitments to addressing climate change.
And science tells us that how we act or fail to act in the next 12 years will determine the very livability of our planet. By 2050, the United States will be 100% clean energy economy with net zero emissions.
Will the department consider holding off on approving permits to drill for Willow until the litigation is settled?
The posture of the department right now is that the record of decision has been issued. There has been litigation filed. Absent an injunction from the court, the project has the approvals to conduct the activities reflected in the record of decision.
I want to echo a little bit of one of my earlier colleagues' comments in that we are very grateful for many of the decisions and policies coming out of the department, but we're also very concerned about some of this business as usual, to use his words, around oil and gas development. As was stated several times during this hearing, oil production is at an all-time high under the Biden administration, higher than even under the Trump administration. There has been overwhelming opposition around the department's decision to approve the Willow Project, which was picked up after the Trump administration's decision was turned over in an attempt to do the same. This project was first approved under the Trump administration in 2020 and tossed out in court as unlawful. It instructed the BLM to reassess the project's full climate impact and consider alternatives. When the Biden administration then picked up Trump's failed project for a second approval attempt, it seems to have still failed to meet the court's assessment requirements. In fact, we have heard from the New Exit community leaders that have maintained that the BLM has, quote unquote, completely failed to acknowledge their attempts at consultation. And I would like to submit that letter from them to the record. Additionally, the Alaska Wilderness League has confirmed that they were not consulted at all before the department released the environmental impact statement. But I would actually like to direct my question to Mr. Beaudreau as the Deputy Secretary of the department. I am interested in the decision-making process and the contours of the decision-making process around Willow. Who within the department were some of the key stakeholders? Who are the leaders involved in making this decision?
So the decision is on Bureau, well, the Willow Project was an application before the Bureau of Land Management. And so BLM Alaska staff conducted the analysis, the supplemental EIS analysis, as directed by the court. Also involved, of course, through the chain of command was, BLM director and the principal deputy assistant secretary for land and minerals. At the end, ultimately, I signed the record of decision, and so it's my signature on that document.
So you signed the record of decision around the Willow Project?
Yes.
Did the White House at any point weigh in on this, on a preference on this decision with you?
As with all of the matters in front of the department, we of course coordinate with the White House. At the end of the day, though, permitting decision like Willow is one that rests with the Secretary and her authorities. And as Deputy Secretary, I was the one who signed the record of decision.
And did BLM or anyone in the department provide rationale for not consulting some of the major stakeholders or failing to consult properly or account properly, such as the consultation from the New Exit community or the Alaska Wilderness League?
So again, both Rosemary, the mayor, and New Wixit, and folks at Alaska Wilderness League are people that we know well in the department, and I know well personally. And so, I don't mean to contradict, but there has been throughout this process very close communication
Thank you.
with New Wixit as well as with all interested stakeholders.